Now we're going to remove the caliper. There are two 15mm bolts attaching it to the spindle. I'm going to be using an impact gun to speed things up. I'm going to go get the breaker bar. Success. Now we're going to put a bucket just so that it's not hanging. We don't want to damage the lines. Now to the sway bar. We're going to be using a wrench and a ratchet, both 9/16, to detach it from the control arm to give us that play to remove the strut. Since this car is equipped with ABS, we're going to have to carefully unhook the ABS wire here and here so that we have enough slack to be able to remove the spindle to sensor bolt located right here. 1/4 inch wrench. Then we're going to remove the bolt so that we can finally take off the wire. We don't want to crimp it or damage it. We're now going to place the floor jack right under the control arm to compress the spring a little bit so that we can remove the strut. Using the impact gun again, we're going to go ahead and loosen up the strut bolts. We want to loosen them, not take them completely off. And get some PB Blaster again. Saving grace, honestly. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the strut top retaining nut. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the two bolts and nuts that attach the strut to the spindle. Last part. So we have to remove the spring. In order to do that, we need to lower the control jack and slowly release the spring, the pressure from the spring. You just have to be careful with this because that spring is under pressure. It could bounce, damage the car, damage you, or anyone around. So just be careful. Since we are using Tokico struts, we do have to remove the upper flange right here. Now we're going to have to tape up the strut shaft. I'm just going to use some blue painter's tape to wrap it around, and then we're going to put it in between the vise. So let's go ahead and do that first. There we go. Just with the chisel and the hammer, we're going to go ahead and take off the upper flange. Hit it from all the angles. All the way down until the point where the spindle actually attaches to the strut. Looks about even. So here are the rest of the components for the upper strut assembly. We have our upper spring purchase. Then we also have our thrust cones. These are thrust needle bearings. You want to make sure that you grease these up sufficiently because these are where the car basically rests, and these are needle bearing races. We have 4 of them, and then these are spacers. Spacers will come in handy a little bit later. So yeah, it also has a little Allen wrench. The Allen wrench is for these little locks. The locks are going to be used for the lower spring perch to keep it in place. ahead and put one of the smaller ones on top. It's not turning with the top little cone thing that the coil kit comes with. So it's getting stuck.
So what's the solution?
Those spherical bushing top hat things. I already ordered some from
radial bearings?
Yeah, the radial bearings. We want to get rid of that noise, and in order to do that we have to remove the strut again, do that whole disassembly, and then remove the little top hat that comes with the kit for that. And we're going to replace the kit with the radial bearings so that the spring can essentially turn freely without binding.